Okay. Subscribe to earn drops. What are these drops? Get awards by purchasing or gifting subscriptions to Faucet Leaks to TV channel while they're live in any category. Oh, okay. What do we get drops for? What is this drop? Oh, it's a
Um,
Crunchyroll. I couldn't quite read it.
yeah, I think if you subscribe to two people, you can get a like some sort of Crunchyroll subscription or something.
Okay. How you doing, JD Poo?
I think I'm doing okay at the moment. How are you, Faucet Leaks?
I'm okay. That's it. And done.
Ready for your next battle?
No.
Hey, we have a map now, so you can just kite stuff now.
Yeah. Like I was looking and I do think I am playing uh okay, so I make my characters based off of the free content on D&D Beyond because I do like the way that you have an interactive character sheet and I'm
Hmm.
also not really wanting to give them any money. Sorry about it. But it with the interactive character sheet, it's all nice and stuff, but you only get a little bit of content that with the free version.
Yeah.
So I'm limited on what I can do as far as everything from, well, not classes, but subclasses. I think there's only one available subclass for each class. I'm pretty sure I'm limited on the species and the backgrounds. And as I was updating my character sheet for today's game, I realized that there's actually a background that I think could be even better for my character,
Hmm.
but I don't have access to it. I could probably like figure out a way to essentially get the basics, but I was like, what I've got's good enough. And then the more I think about it, um, both my Shocking Grasp and my Ray of Frost, which I use for the kiting, are from my
Hmm.
background. So I have a background that gives me terrible stats. It doesn't give me a single useful stat, um, but it does give me what is it called? Magic initiative, magic, not initiative, but it's a word that's initiate, magic initiate wizard. So it gives me a couple extra little spells I can use. So I'm like, okay, okay, it's not as good as what it could be because the magic initiate druid I think would probably have been better for my character, but it's too late now. It's too late now. Plus, I probably do need my Shocking Grasp and Ray of Frost if it's going to be anything like it was last game.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that kitty cat. Hey, beautiful. You all don't get a look at the kitty cat.
I get to look at the kitty cat.
Stop looking at my kitty cat. Okay.
And I probably have a better view from here.
Well, yeah, but I also just got up to go look at her.
Yeah.
I had the best view. I had touching view. Okay, okay. What do we have anything to blab about before we get into things? Anything we want to talk
Uh,
about?
I'm trying to think, has there anything happened since the Monday campaign? Trying to remember, Thursday was what's a majig? Roblox.
Yeah, we did a Roblox on Thursday, so nothing campaign related happened that day. Um,
I think your sunburn has been magically cured.
my sunburn has been magically cured. I do like that. I think it was Liz came in and gave me another comment about the sunburn. It's like, once I take off the glasses and you see that there's makeup, how do you not put
Yeah.
this together? Did I spend the evening on the sun to get that sunburn? Like, I think the sunburn looks absolutely crazy and not realistic at all. It was drag. It was not meant to be realistic. But what I did find interesting is that people still thought it was sunburn, even though I had my eye makeup done. And like, I guess if I actually wore those glasses, but if you have sunburn, you probably should not be using makeup.
Yeah, probably not.
Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna hop on over to the D&D screen. Look at how beautiful we are. I feel weird with these lips, and also hope that they don't leak because they were leaking earlier. Faucet lips leak. But I put on this like gloss that I have, but I wanted them really glossy, so I put a lot of the gloss on and then realized that it was dripping down my lip. But it doesn't. I don't feel it dripping down my lip. I just could see that it
Mm.
was like dripping down my lip, so I had to wipe it off and clean it up. Pretty easy to clean up, but at the same time, I'm like, watch by the end, I'm just going to have my entire chin is going to be gloss. You're gonna love it.
That's what happens when you're in the uh, Temple of Zilith. Not really temple.
That's when you eat
City
all
of
this
Zilith.
slime, you just start oozing out of orifices all over the place, as one does. How do you like my face? How do you like my face today?
I think it was pretty. Like I don't have a great view from my desktop computer because you have it like very very tiny on my
Oh,
screen,
I'm so tiny.
but so tiny.
I went for a nude lip and it's really weird, but I kind of feel like I'd put enough stuff on it to balance it out. I put a lot of shimmer and I basically just did like a little McDonald's arch on there, and like that's all I have for a lip is I have a little McDonald's arch on the top, a little line on the bottom, and then it's just gloss. Uh, okay, no one's going to come into here if we're like this.
Or maybe more people come
Maybe.
into stream.
Okay, oh, 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 it's a good thing I hadn't hit go live on TikTok yet. Oh my.
Death Beaver, hello Death Beaver. They say it's a very shiny gloss.
Yes, thank you, Unalive Beaver. Oh, it was also thank you for the subscription. I just saw that when I was hopped down and I just saw that when I got on my computer. Okay, okay. I do want to tag somebody on Discord real quick because they said that they wanted to show up. Also, if I tag people and they don't show up, that stresses me out. Because then they think that I care if they show up, and then that ruins my mystique. Where the heck is it? Okay, there we are. Oh gosh, the everyone's names are hidden.
Ooh, yeah, streaming mode.
Also, I hope y'all appreciate getting to look at my Discord. I just realized it's coming up instead of Richard's or Jaded's face. Ah, we're doxing too. I can't find them. Okay, well, it'll be fine. Doxed all the people that partially showed up on that stream. Okay, so, hey Casper, how you doing? Canceled. Um, we are going to do a little recap, and we also are going to do a little light retconning. I guess kind of light retconning. What do you have to say? You look like you have something to say.
Oh, nope. I was just trying to process because I didn't realize you were live on TikTok, so I was making sure I had your TikTok pulled up so I can also say hi to uh
Casper.
yeah.
Okay, so the light retconning is just extremely light. The thing that we're going to retcon is that we unequivocally unalived that that golem, that training dummy. It was a easy win that had a dramatic moment, but it was such a good win. We did such a good job fighting that golem that we leveled up. We leveled up. Oh my gosh. That golem didn't just give up. and get tired of not being able to reach us and go back into its obelisk. No, we beat it. We beat it and we got experience and we leveled up. So with that is we have a new character sheet. I've updated my character sheet. You can see it over on the Purple app, and we are now level 2, which means that we got an additional 2 class features. I believe we have 2 new Eldritch Invocations. Manslaughter, thank you for the GG on that level up. But we got 2 new Eldritch Invocations, which are very useful, very, very useful spells that are going to help us be very useful. And hopefully not get unalived again, with any luck. So, in the last game, what did we do? Start of the last game, we went to go explore the underground city. And when we explored this underground city, we first went to the forge, I believe. And in this forge, we saw this blue fire. And what do we do when we see weird looking fire or weird looking slime or weird looking anything? We go directly over to it and we do things with it. Non-sexual things with it, obviously. But we walk through the blue fire. And when we got through the blue fire, what happened? It was we got through the blue fire. We found like the official forge where we were able to make a sacrificial dagger. And this dagger was a wonderful little dagger. Came in clutch. Let me tell you what. Came in
Made a
clutch.
sacrifice.
It made its sacrifice. And then we went to the big open arena. We saw an obelisk. There was an unalived dwarf. And looking back, I swore that we were not going to unalive like that dwarf. Then we got crit and unalived in the first round of combat with our 10 little HP getting crushed into the ground. But as we're getting crushed into the ground, we have our newly made Zelethan dagger, and it gets crushed into our body and heals us, brings us back to life. Now we're back alive, and then we kite this thing. We run around like a chicken with its head cut off. We are like zapping it to get away. We're slowing it down. We're having a really long combat of me throwing 2s, 3s, 2s, 3s until 27 health gets decisively struck down. Decisively struck down. And we won the fight, and we leveled up, apparently. I don't know what that means in game terms. Oh no, I got this. When the fight ended, we hear a voice. We hear a voice from our insides, right inside where that dagger got crushed. We hear a voice and it tells us that it's not our time yet. We get up. We very decisively unalive this golem. Very decisively, very easily. No struggles. Not cheating, not cheating. We very decisively. And we miraculously find that we have these new powers. Where are these new powers from? We know it's from the dagger, but what about the dagger gave us these new powers? We're only a level 2 warlock. We don't know our patron. We don't know who's giving us these powers. Maybe we'll find out by the end of this module. Hopefully. I'm hoping that we can find out by the end of this module. We'll see how it turns out. Maybe we'll go Hexblade. Hexblade with our little Zelethan dagger as our patron. Who knows? Maybe the dagger had a Celestial inside of it. Maybe Celestial somehow power the Zelethan crystals. Or maybe it's a fiend. Maybe a fiend is powering these Zelethan crystals. Either way, we got that little Zelethan crystal dagger shoved into our existence, and it brought us back to life and gave us new powers. Or your patron was embarrassed by the dummy stomping you and gave you more powers. So the other warlock patrons don't laugh at them. Okay, no. we're going to be positive.
Canon.
No, not yet. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun. Maybe at the end of this, I assume at the end of this story, we are going to hit level 3, and at level 3 we'll get our subclass. And maybe this is a hint to what subclass we'll be getting. Maybe. Okay, Jaded, your eyes look like you're preferring unalive beavers. which was still good, but that was also not as epic. I was trying to make I was trying to make getting stomped by that golem a little bit more epic. Okay, we are
Uh,
about to special level by the end. Oh gosh, are any of the
okay,
characters in the story canonically trade?
am I?
Zaka. Zaka is. Also, Brayley, I don't know if you're still here, but thank you. Uh, so, where are we at now? Where are we at now? We left the arena. We saw a cat, and I think the cat had rainbow fur. Little rainbow shiny furred cat. Is that correct?
Yes, we saw a rainbow kitty cat, and apparently I kind of failed, and I scrolled past where I needed to be, so I need to now get caught up. I'm sorry for that.
Gay cat? Did somebody say gay cat?
All right. So I found where we are. So you good for me to begin?
I think we're good unless anyone has any questions, concerns, issues.
All right. So gonna start from the beginning of the paragraph. So as you emerge from the arena, you see a strange-looking beast watching you. A large spotted cat whose fur and spots seem to shift and change with all the colors of the rainbow.
Rainbow cat.
It does not appear to be corrupted or mutated, other than its unique coloration. When it sees you, it regards you for a few minutes before turning to slink away into an overgrown city. You can attempt to follow the cat, or play it safe and return to camp.
No, we're following the cat. We have this new power. Nothing will stop us now. We will get this puss.
With your curiosity piqued, you attempt to follow the multicolored cat without it knowing. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Do I have to have it not know? I do have higher stealth. We're no longer doing our negative dexterity cleric. Okay, I've got a 10 plus 2, a 12.
You got a 12?
Yes.
All right, let's see. The cat notices you and dashes away, disappearing into what looks like an impossibly tight thicket of undergrowth.
If
With a
there's
strange
anything
beast.
I know, it's how to get into something that's impossibly tight.
Oh.
And this is why we're 18 plus.
Let's see here. With a strange beast gone, you're not sure if you have anything else to worry about, but there's nothing more you can do except return to camp.
Wait,
Hmm,
no! Can't I can I pass a
Nope.
give me a crazy high perception check and then let me go back and then find the cat.
Sorry, the cat is very speedy and was able to escape. So
No. Let me
should have
pass a
rolled
20
15 or higher.
perception. Let me This is man Casper, I need you to get over here and use all of your points to give me advantage on things. Uh must have been a tiger. Um okay. That's rude of you to not let me go and chase the
Uh,
cat, but let's
So,
go.
go
Let's
ahead.
go.
So, I guess go ahead and do an investigation check.
Uh, are you sure? An investigation check?
Yeah, because I mean, to me, the investigation you have to figure out like where exactly the cat went to try and follow.
Oh, a 19, which is not a 20, which is...
Okay, well, I was gonna keep it at 15, so
Oh,
I was
okay,
gonna
because
say that you passed.
I had said 20 on the perception. Though, if I would it would have been a perception, I would have had plus one more, and it would have been a 20. So,
By the way, it looks like Death Unalive Beaver
oh, we got a
uh,
bless.
gave you a plus, yes. But let's see here. So now we're gonna go the route of as if you passed your stealth check.
Yeah, all you gotta do, bully your DMs into giving you what you want. But also,
Well,
this is
you
my
still at least
channel.
have you at least have to do a check, so there's that. I mean, if we can re-alive you, I guess we can let you try and follow a cat.
Yeah, honestly, I don't want to go and cheat the system too many times, but I do love a cat, and I also love not being unalived, so we're gonna make some concessions.
I'm also allowing it because I try to at least peek through a little bit of this. Not tons, but
So the DM wants us to find the cat. That's what happened here. You
so
could have just
well.
given me inspiration to roll advantage.
Well, I knew that like the effect that it had. So, all right. Slinking through the trees,
The
like
effect.
you managed to see, you managed to get the trail again. And you managed to follow the multicolored cat through the tangled underbrush without it alerting to your presence again. You close in on the feline as it glides through its habitat. Just as you approach close enough to decide what to do next, the predator stops and takes a deep breath. Then, with a ripple of color, the beast turns into a large bird of prey with spectacular plumage that soars away between the looming pyramids dripping with plant growth.
I didn't chase
Unable to,
this cat to get a bird.
unable to follow, or even effectively speed up in the thick foliage, you have no other choice but to return to camp.
That's rude. You had me roll something else just to go back to camp, but after learning that it wasn't actually a cat. Hateful.
Yeah, I mean, you at least got a little bit more information, so.
Yes. Now I gotta look for a stupid bird and a beautiful cat. No offense to any of you birdies out there.
Do you mind if I share a theory with you about the bird cat?
Is it from you cheating or looking
It is
ahead?
not from me. It's not from me cheating. No, it's from like the story previously.
Okay, give me that info.
So my thought on it was we ran into a person that appeared to not be Regia. So I'm wondering if that Regia was really this catbird,
Um, yeah, it
but I don't.
could be like illusions or it could be a druid.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the case. So,
My
so
first thought was druid, uh, but also there were druids in the last game, so I'm like, of course I'm thinking about druids. Okay, now we're going back to camp.
uh, when you return to your temporary camp, Zakar is sitting beside the burnt out fire pit, tapping at his tablet and hissing rhythmically to himself. Rija hasn't returned yet, and Gaiga seems to have fallen asleep on his bedroll, though he's surrounded by a messy pile of notes and sketches. You can try to speak with Zakar, or sit in companionable silence with the warrior.
Let's talk. Actually, he doesn't like talking to us. Let's just sit in silence with him. Maybe he'll be nice to us one day.
All right.
If you just be around and don't talk to people, they like you more. I've learned that.
Good job. Gain some inspiration.
Oh, yay, I love inspiration that I never use.
You sit quietly with the taciturn lizard folk. Though he doesn't stop tapping and hissing down the tablet, there's a palpable shift in the space between you. He relaxes into what he's doing, and you sit quietly to take a few minutes rest. It's not much longer before Rija returns from her mission and immediately tells you about what she saw. A strange creature, not mutated, but colorful and curious. An enormous bird of prey, strange to see underground, covered in brightly colored feathers and watching my every step. You can ask her what she thinks. You can ask her what threat she thinks it poses. Tell her that it's important that everyone get out of Zilith safely, or arrange a hunt for the strange creature.
Um, the first one was ask the threat, right? That was what you said the first one was?
Yeah, what threat she thinks it poses.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Okay. Rija doesn't know what it was, but she seems rattled. It's just another mystery, she says. Another question, but without answers. Nothing but questions out there. You ask about the expedition, and Rija seems surprised by the question as if she hadn't even considered them. She shakes her head. No, she says. No sign of them. Though that seems odd, you can see that Gaiga is stirring from his nap. Gaiga jolts awake and reflexively tries to collect the notes strewn around him. Seeing Richa, the scholar gives a sheepish grin. Ah, you're back, he says to the both of you. Excellent. Well, I examined the portal there quite thoroughly. It is definitely of Zalethan make and appears to be locked with an arcane lock of incredible potency.
Hmm.
Any luck opening it or knowing what's on the other side? Rija asks. Well, some limited idea. Gaga shuffles through some of the notes he's made and comes up with a single page. I keep seeing the word for under repeated. Under the under, Zakal says, nodding at Rija. He taps his tablet. Indeed, Gaiga says. I thank you for that, Zakar. As for the rest, I'm still working it out. There are references to trials and heroes, and some creatures made of color itself. If I'm being honest, it's frankly all a little confusing. Of course, I understand, Regis says, though her tone seems to indicate otherwise. Adventurer, did you find anything?
Now, uh, what are the
Uh,
options? Also, if anyone in chat is hearing a double of the Jaded Mystic, let me know. I'm not waiting for people
okay,
to
sorry,
answer.
my brain was just not prepared.
Thanks, Beaver.
So let's see here. You describe what happened in the arena, including the unalived body. Ah, Gertha, Rita says.
Gertha.
She was a hothead, but a good friend to have at your back in a bar fight. Shame. Zakal looks at her, then points at the bedroll. Sleep.
Are we that good at describing things?
I guess so.
How'd she know who the dwarf was? Okay.
Well, I mean, you just described it in great detail.
I
Good.
guess, really good detail. I couldn't even tell you the detail. It was a lady dwarf. They were unalived. I remember nothing
So,
else.
Girth is the only one that could have lost to training dummy. So,
Oh, shade!
let's see here. Zakal looks at her and then oh, already read that.
Wait, we
Sorry.
lost to the training dummy. Shadier!
Shade. uh, all right. So Zakal looked at her and pointed at the bedrolls and said, "Sleep." Regina nods and her eyelids heavy. Let's all get some rest, and then we can continue exploring Zaleth. So you may take a short rest or a long rest if you have the resources, i.e. rations.
Yes, it was 3 rations for a long, 2 for a short. I'm gonna make a note of that, just so I don't remember. Just so I don't remember, I'm gonna make a note of it. 3 rations, long, 2 rations, short. How long is this? I think technically, since I'm a maybe this is cheating, but I am thinking I am a elf, and elves get a 4 hour long rest because we trance instead of sleeping. So I kind of feel like that should be just 2 rations,
All right.
but
I am actually going to put that up to chat specifically to the TikTok friendly Unalive Beaver and see what their opinion is if they're willing to share that, since they seem to be fairly knowledgeable. So if they agree, then I think we can make that a thing.
oh, it's all up to you. Hopefully you didn't AFK. Well, we're not sitting here and waiting either way. Uh,
Okay, I mean, did you want to do?
yeah, Beaver, decisions. It's all on you. I can only make so many decisions, and apparently Jaded can't make any, even though he is the god of this place.
Well, I was trying to get someone who had some D&D background versus me, who's like All right, I'm gonna be a pushover and let you have what you want.
A short rest is only 15 to 20 minutes? I thought that a short rest was way longer than that. I can't make decisions for myself, let alone for anyone else. Okay, fine. It is almost half the time. Should be half the rations, but uh I think that we're good anyway. So we got brought back up. We did get a short rest, and I don't think we ever got hit. So we still have our spell slots. We are at full health. There's nothing that a rest will help us with at this moment. So I don't think we need to
Okay.
worry about resting.
Okay. So we are ready to continue then.
Because we're not playing with exhaustion. That's a mechanic I know nothing about. No exhaustion.
All right. Uh, as you and Rija are leaving the camp again, she points at the twisted spires toward the center of the city. That looks important, adventurer, as she says. If you would please check that out, I'm going to do a ground level search for expedition survivors. So you can either take the assignment or disagree and instead want to search for survivors.
Let's take the assignment.
Okay.
Survivors are nice and stuff, but things are nicer.
Um, the spired building is easy to locate while traversing the city. Like your trip to the arena, you arrive unscathed as the elegant towers loom overhead. Despite its state of ruin, the spired building is as impressive on the outside as it is on the inside. Wherever bare walls show between the creeping tendrils of greenery, you see elaborate carvings and even the remains of vibrant paint. On one wall, you find the remains of a mural depicting a lizard folk in ceremonial regalia presenting a glowing crystal to some unknown entity. Though some of the passages leading away from the main entry chamber have long since collapsed and become impassable, there are several areas still open to exploration. Without knowing which door leads to what, you choose a passage at random. The first place you examine is a long hall filled with shelving units and tables, so it appears to be a library of some kind. At first glance, you don't see any obvious documents, but there could be something that has survived the centuries of rot and looters who managed to find the city. And despite all the time that's passed, light fixtures still shine overhead. Huge crystal chandeliers hanging from the ceiling. Searching for documents, you have to sift through the dust of long decayed paper and papyrus, along with shards of pictographic tablets that remind you of Zakkar's holy text. Time is short, and the library is considerable, so you will only have time to make a brief search. Go ahead and roll an investigation or a perception check.
Perception.
Um, real quick.
Oh God.
Um,
Uh, yeah.
Alternatively, you can detect magic with a spell or ability,
Wait.
or you could try sweeping the library for magical texts.
Okay. Remember the number 7 for a second. Oh, I was wrong. Spells.
Hi, Liz.
Hey, Liz. Oh, dang. No, I got detect poison and disease, but I did not get detect magic. Okay, yeah, no detect magic. So I had a 7 plus unalive beaver gave us
I
a
bless.
bless. So we got a 10.
You got a 10.
Yes.
Okay. Unfortunately, that was enough. You had to
Uh,
get a 12 or more.
no. Okay, we failed. We failed, everybody.
Uh, you aren't able to find anything except dust, debris, and shards of tablets carved with Zelethan pictographs. With little else of interest, you can move on to continue your exploration.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
what? Yeah,
yeah.
indubitably.
I thought that you said for me to pick something, then realized, no, you just said we're gonna
No.
continue. And I'm like, yeah.
Yep. I mean, it seems like it should have been like choice, but no choice. You find yourself in a massive room occupied what can only be a Zelethan machine. It doesn't seem to be running, and the room seems to have been scoured of all valuables. There are additional dimensions to the silence here, as though the large room is insulated from the rest of the world with its thick walls, but was at some time a bustling hub of activity. On the wall is a large rectangular indent, as if some massive slab of something had previously hung there. There may still be some items of interest in the room, however, and there's at least a chance you can figure out what the machine does. Go ahead and roll another investigation or perception check, please.
Perception again. Come on, don't fail me. 14.
Unfortunately, you had to get a 15 or higher on that
Oh my
one.
god! I was like, oh good, I got above a 12. We'll be fine. Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna find nothing again. And
Uh,
y'all, don't take this the wrong way, but y'all didn't tell me to put points into perception. I changed my proficiencies to give myself perception proficiency, and it still failed me. Oh gosh, we'd be so far behind if I didn't have that proficiency.
let's see here. The room has been ransacked so many times over the centuries that it has been picked clean. There's nothing here except the machine in the center of the room, which you examine next.
And then it's going to be
Uh,
like an 18, and I'm going to roll
yeah.
in that one.
For some reason, my brain is like, am I going, like, clicking on, like, reading the right things? I think I am, but I don't know. Uh, you find a Zelethan crystal crookedly fixed to a similarly sized depression on the machine. As you examine the glowing stone, your hands brush against it and it clicks into place. The stone machine rumbles to life, its edges glowing the same blue as the Zelethan crystals. After a moment, the Zelethan crystal disappears into the machine entirely, and there's a faint clink in the slot just below the depression. A perfectly rectangular sliver of jade about the size of a playing card and about a finger width thick has appeared in the slot. It seems to be some kind of currency, which would make this machine Zeleth's mint. You can add one jade tablet worth 50 gold pieces to your inventory.
I have so much jade. What? Okay. I got 8 jade bars, or 8 jade, 3 jade bars, and a jade tablet. Now, if
Yep.
only I could go somewhere to sell this crap.
All right, let's see here. You can add more crystals to the depression in the machine to create as many jade tablets as you wish. Would you like to use any crystals that you may or may not have?
No, the crystals are definitely more useful than 50 gold, I think.
Okay. When you are finished with the mint, uh, you're now
Thanks,
finished with the mint,
Casper.
and you go off to explore next area off of the lobby. Let's see here. You step into a room that could only be used for addressing large groups, though it's unclear if it's a theater, a lecture hall, or a public forum. It is made up of a series of concentric half circles rising up in tiers around a central presentation space. There are stone benches on each tier, but nothing else in the way of furniture or decoration except wall carvings and a mural faded beyond recognition. There are two exits leading off from the auditorium. One seems to be an office, the other a classroom or laboratory. Do you want to explore the office or the classroom?
The classroom.
The classroom?
The
Okay.
classroom.
And it looks like Stormy did give you a bless for your next roll.
Yes, I got a bless. Spending the rest of my points. Oh gosh, I think you should have a lot of points, though.
I only have 170,000 channel points. Uh, you enter the classroom cautiously, sure that this was once a safe place, but not knowing what might have been moved in it since the students departed, you take every possible precaution. Despite your best efforts, however, you accidentally brush up against a carved stone object on a tabletop. A light springs from the dark aperture in front of the object. An illusion springs to life at the front of the room, accompanied by a crackle of complex auditory illusion. You see a translucent lizard folk in ceremonial garb going through what are obviously some somatic components of a spell, hissing and snarling the verbal components. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
Arcana, my +3. Come on. Also, hey, Uzi,
Hi, Uzi.
a 15.
And yes, TikTok friendly unalive beaver. Uh, I have that money because I am literally on their stream every time for like the past year or so.
Yeah, it's been a little over a year.
I think it's maybe 14. I think I've subbed 14 times, so it's been building up. Can't redeem quite enough hydrates and stuff for that.
Yes.
All
So I got a
right.
15. If you tell me that this
Uh,
increased to an 18, I'd be so sad.
you had to hit a 20. No.
How?
Hey, you told me not to say an 18, so it was just a 10, so
Okay, come on. Finally, winning a roll.
let's see here. Uh, but you don't recognize the ancient spell directly. You recognize that it's from the transmutation school, and therefore some form of transformative magic. You can also tell that it's a very advanced spell, so either this is part of the instruction of a very powerful spellcasters, or Zelith's entire culture was built on extremely potent magics. Based on the prevalence of magic crystals, you're inclined to think that the people of Zelith were just that far advanced. So if you had to guess, this ritual likely had something to do with the binding magical power to the crystals. Um, would you like to examine the office, or would you like to return to the main lobby?
Let's get to the office.
Okay.
Ah, we got bless and advantage for this next one. Thank y'all.
You enter a space that has all the trappings of an office. The remains of a large stone table or desk, ornamental stonework on the walls, and some windows letting in bluish light from the outdoors. A section of the wall seems to have collapsed. In the rubble is a strong box made of metal. An unalive body is in front of the safe, scorched and smelling of roasted meat. Um, a broken crowbar sits on the floor between the body and the safe. You can examine the safe and its surrounding area, or you can leave it alone and return to the entry hall.
No, we're gonna examine that safe. Also, hey, 1/3, 5.
Are you going to examine the safe with the roasted meat body?
Yeah. I cast purify food and drink on the body and stuff it in my pack. Just kidding. No cannibalism today. Yet.
Not gonna lie, when I saw like freshly roasted or whatever, I was going to maybe give you a chance to roll for like a ration, but I was like, no, that does sound like it's probably cannibalism, even though it didn't specify whether it was like a monster animal or anything like that.
Beaver did say make some rations. I'm a oh, what is it, Cetterine? Is that how you say it? A Cetterine drow? I'm not one of those evil, naughty Lolth drows. I'm not going to do no cannibalism today. For now. So we're
Until you,
let's look at this chest or safe.
okay. Uh, you see a stone strongbox and a pile of rubble, surprisingly free of moss and plant roots. It must have only quite recently been revealed by some kind of collapse. However, the body in front of the safe doesn't show any sign of blunt force trauma. Clearly a humanoid male, it could be a human or elf. However, its features are horribly disfigured and the body is twisted after being burned to death. The
So
unalive body.
unaliving.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're
It's
good.
tough for my brain to do
We've
the.
never actually gotten flagged for saying that, so it should be fine.
The unalive body is clearly reaching for the safe, and you can see the tools in his hand. The safe shows a matrix of symbols that are faintly glowing in what you can only assume is a combination lock of some kind. The would-be thief has a set of thieves' tools on him. You can add these thieves' tools to your inventory.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So you can do some of these following actions. Try a spell or ability to open the safe. Try to figure out the combination, or just try to force the safe open. Otherwise, you could leave the office and go check out the classroom, which you've already done, so we'd be returning to the lobby.
Okay, so we have advantage and we're blessed this time around. So I'm going to try to get into the try to, I guess, gotta figure out the code because I don't have a spell that will let me in. I have
Or
negative
ability.
strength. What?
Or ability.
No. I have negative strength, so I probably can't force it open unless it lets me like Eldritch Blast it. Um, so I think our best bet is going to be using our brains.
Okay, so try and figure out the combination. Okay. You realize what the dead thief did not. There is no external lock to pick. And though there are glowing symbols on the face that indicate some kind of combination, there's clearly no way that you'll be able to guess it. There are still other ways you can potentially open the safe. You could use these tools to try and open the safe indirectly. Let's see here. So you can go ahead and roll a dexterity check plus your proficiency bonus if you're proficient with these tools. And then we'll see where we go from there.
It just says dexterity, doesn't say like a sleight of hand or anything. My
As,
dexterity and sleight of hand would be the same, so it doesn't matter.
yeah, it says a dexterity check and then plus your proficiency bonus if you're proficient with the thieves' tools.
Okay, I'm not proficient. Ooh, okay, that was a 9. Hold on. Oh, okay, that was an 11. Hold on. We got bless. Plus 4 is a 15.
Okay, a 15. So you succeeded.
Yay!
Let's see here.
I was really
Uh,
concerned that wasn't going to work.
um, whatever you did worked to open the safe. Its door swings open with a hiss and a shower of sparks. You step back to see if some trap is triggered from inside the strong box, but nothing happens. The safe contains 3 Zelethan crystals, a stack of 11 jade tablets worth 25 gold pieces each.
Okay, hold on. That was 3
Okay.
crystals, so I'm 8 crystals. Oh, that's a different value than the others.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put this under Jade Bars, because that's 25. Okay, how many?
Okay.
What's that?
11 jade tablets.
11. Dang, when you said Jade Tablets, I'm like, ooh, Jade Tablets worth 50 gold each. Devil didn't need to waste any of my crystals for that. Failed to save so hard. Missed out on electricity fun. Oh gosh.
Let's see here. There's also a bag of holding embossed with Zelethan patterns.
Come on, bag of holding. I mean, we're not keeping track of stuff like that, but I'll take it.
So you've already explored the classroom, so we're going to return you back to the entry hall.
Does it say anything about it? Just says it's a bag of holding with Zelethan like runes or symbols on it.
Yeah, it does not have any like description. Like there's a picture of a bag, but no information.
Okay. I'm like, can we get some shenanigans with this bag of holding later? What is it if you put like a bag of holding into another bag of holding? It destroys the universe or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but something bad happens.
Okay. Due to collapse or time, there's nothing left to explore in what you've started to think of as the cultural ministry. Despite the disrepair, you can easily imagine the grandeur that this place once exuded, especially after exploring its contents. After taking one last look around, you realize suddenly that you're not alone. Standing in the lobby with you is an elderly lizard folk in full Zalethan regalia. His scaled skin hangs in folds around him, and he is deeply hunched with advanced years. Despite the newcomer's apparent age, his clothing seems brand new. His tunic and kilt are made of sharp-edged scales of clay and crystal joined with links of precious metals. Long, vibrant plumes from tropical birds flare out from his headdress and cascade down his back as a cloak. No, he says in perfect
Maybe.
common. No. He says in perfect common, I am not an illusion, nor a delusion, or any other figment. So you have two choices. You can try to talk to him or attack.
I'm gonna try to talk to him. He might know something. Teach me a thing.
All right.
Plus, I am still nervous about attacking things, even though I feel much stronger. Also, just to clarify, I didn't really talk about this, but I did put it on my character sheet already. Two of the new spells I have are I have the Eldritch Invocations I picked give me a free mage armor, which increases my armor by my armor class by 3 if I'm not wearing any armor. So I took off the leather that I was wearing before, and I now actually, how do I put mage? I don't know how to put mage armor on here, but I have 12 armor and then plus 3 for mage armor. Give me a 15 armor class. And I also have a Eldritch Invocation that gives me false life at will without any cost. And it also gives me the maximum amount at all times. So that is 2d4 plus 8, which is 12. So I have temporary hit points of 12, also 19 regular hit points versus the 10 I had last week, and I have a 15 armor class versus my 13 armor class I think I was at. So if we do get in a fight, I might not get unalived.
Praise the sacrificial dagger.
Yes, we do have one more sacrificial dagger, but I feel like using them to cheat unaliving is not how they were intended.
All right. You greet the mysterious lizard folk in the elaborate vestments. Um,
Hey.
already more polite than the last group that passed through, he says with a warm smile.
He wants a. Sorry, Zaka. I'm going after your daddy or whoever this is.
Uh, if you would be so kind, what is your purpose here in Zleth?
Money.
Uh, you can answer that you're here to rescue a group of researchers, to find treasure, or to protect your companions.
We're here to find researchers. Technically, I'm not here for money. I am here for treasure, but the treasure of knowledge. And that wasn't really any of the options. So, secondary to my knowledge seeking, I am here to save the first expedition.
Okay, rescue group of researchers. Uh, you let the lizard folk know that you're looking for an expedition to Zaleth from the surface. Uh, I see, says the lizard folk sage. Well, I'm afraid that some met an early demise as they rummaged around the city. The rest escaped not that long ago, before they did anything too dangerous. You can ask how the lizard folk got here, ask what's going on in Zaleth, or attack the stranger anyways.
I'm gonna ask what's going on in Celeb. I'm gonna shoot the shit with Lizard Daddy.
um, the city of Zaleth was once a shining jewel of culture and wealth, the old lizard folk says. It was even above ground at one point. Oh, how I miss the sun sparkled off the crystals. He looks wistfully around him as if he can actually still see it. But that was all before the corruption, he says. That darkness that seeped up from the underground like contaminated groundwater. The mutation started, first in the beasts, and then in the people. We all knew it was a matter of time, but for the people who left, it came far too quickly. The old reptilian head shakes sadly from side to side. They left their homes behind to survive the danger of the city, but at least they got to return to the surface. Something must have shown on your face because he looks at you slyly. Yes, that's right. The tribes of primitives scraping out a living in the jungles overhead are the descendants of the people of Zileth. So is your companion.
Was that
They.
supposed to be surprising? I know I do suffer from ADHD story ruining, where my ADHD helps me to ruin the major climax and twists of most stories. But I mean, like, wasn't that a given? I thought that was a given. They're basically the protectors of Zaleth. That just makes sense.
Yeah.
The weird thing is that he apparently was around back then. Like, that's the
Mm,
part that's weird. That's the part that's got me like,
mm.
ah.
And while you monologue that in your head, um, uh, the Zileth then finishes up saying, "They are the ones who chose life." Uh, you look around at your crumbling remains of the city, trying to imagine what this old lizard folk is telling you. When your gaze returns to him, however, he is gone, and you are alone in the ruins of the city once more,
Lizard
with no-
Daddy! Lizard Daddy! I hear nothing.
with nothing left for you here. You return to camp.
Thank you, Uzi. I honestly today, sorry, slight derailment. I felt so bad about my makeup today. I wiped off my makeup multiple times and like I wiped off the eye twice. I wiped off my forehead. Like I was struggling so hard with my makeup today. And you know what? I don't hate it. I'm a pretty lady, bitch. Okay.
With the manners of one too.
With the manners of one too. I do feel very femme today, though. I feel puss.
Let's see here. You navigate the city without incident and climb the steps to where your companions have camped. Rija and Zakar are eating a light meal beside the burnt-out fire pit. Though you're not sure how it could be, you feel you've interrupted a conversation. Daigar's studying the door on the other side of the chamber, and his whole body tense and his frustration palpable even from this distance. Pardon me. Uh, Welcome back, Regis says when you approach. Anything interesting in that building?
No,
Uh, as much as you don't want to, you tell your companions about your strange encounter in the city.
does it say as much as you don't want to, or did you add that?
That was ad-libbed.
Oh, look at this improv master.
I can add words to the beginning of a sentence. Good job, me.
That's
Uh,
cute. Keep it up, baby. Keep it up.
can't say that I'm surprised, Regis says. I seen something like that as well. Not as a Lethan for sure, but other figures. Once or twice even members of the other expedition. They always vanish by the time I reach them, though. Zaleth strangeness, Zakar says. Poisoned. Wrong. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
But your dad seemed nice. And then I screwed an insight. Oh, dang, I didn't do insight. Ooh, nat 20. Insightful as
Net
fuck.
20. I do wish these options would maybe say, like, if you get a nat 20, go to this specific section instead of.
Yeah, but critical failures and critical successes aren't rules as written. So,
Yeah, it would just be kind of nifty if they incorporated it
well, that's
somehow.
your job. Your job is to decipher the
To
nats.
decipher it without knowing what the text is going to say.
Yeah,
All right, let's see here.
we'll just have to remember whatever you change and change it later. If it tries to contradict what you said, be like, nah,
All
no,
right, well,
obvious mimic. We are bastardizing your work.
I'm going to read the success and then see if we can maybe think of something based
Okay.
off of that. Uh, you are clearly missing something, and it seems to be something that is shared between Rija and Zakar. They keep looking between each other, and Gaigar working at the large door in the back of the temple. They know something about Zeleth that they aren't sharing, and it has something to do with whatever is behind that door.
Okay. Also, Beaver says nat 20 equals find random tablets. Make me rich on these 20s. Okay, so some behind this door.
Um, for the Nat 20, it's not going to be a Jade tablet, but I'm going to say you happen to notice that Zakar did not finish like all of his food, so you can go ahead and take some of it and store it as a ration.
Oh, okay. I don't know how. That's not quite insight, but I'll take it. Oh, you know what? Actually, it'd be like my insight is I read his face so well, I stole his food. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it, baby. I'll take it. Okay, I got another ration.
That's my way of rewarding you for your Nat 20.
Thank you.
Uh, let's see here.
Okay, so they're hiding something from me.
Yeah, about something that's behind the door that they're trying to get through the portal. Now that you're here, I think it's about time you helped Gaigar, Regis says. He's already banished us from his presence, but he seems to like you. Maybe you can help open this door. Uh, when you ask how the door might help locate the other expedition, Regis nods absently. We watched survivors run from this place, she says. I need to know what they were running from, and I have a feeling it has something to do with that thing. She motions for you to go talk to Gaigar. You stand and approach the flustered academic, fidgeting with his obsidian amulet.
Oh, is that what we're
Uh,
calling it now?
uh, TikTok friendly unalive beaver says lizard folk definitely may have been eating the roasty boy at the safe though. So we're
Yes.
back to possible cannibalism.
That is well,
So
they're lizard folk, not human slash elf folk. I'm an elf, so I can't eat the elves.
well,
I
but
could eat a
no,
lizard
you
though.
or remember you got your from the nat 20. You took some of
Oh
Zakar's food.
no! Oh no! Hey Panda, we're doing good. How are you?
Hi, Panda.
Okay, so they want us to help get through that door. What are the
Yeah.
options? Are there options yet?
Nope. No, we're still in the
I
middle of a
need
paragraph.
options.
There are options at the end of this section, so
Are there stat blocks for these liars and deceivers?
I do not see any.
Be like, we'll take out my new warlock level on my expedition.
The Panda says they are great. Thanks for
Yes.
asking. Uh, Gaiga is frantically scribbling notes about the artifact. He examines its face, presses and twists at it, even breathes on it to rub it with a sleeve. When he notices his companion's attention, he sets it aside and pinches the bridge of his nose. He lets out a sharp snort and gnashes his teeth a moment before taking a deep breath.
He's doing a lot.
It's a key, he says. I know it is, but I can't get it to work. Nothing here makes sense. You can ask him what it might be a key to, ask to take another look for yourself, or ask Rija what she thinks.
I don't care what Reacha thinks. We're gonna look at this key ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Rija has no idea since she sent you over
Reacha
here.
can eat a fart.
Did you say look at it, take a look for yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. When you pick up the obsidian amulet, you're transported to ancient Zeleth again, but the vision that slams into you is different this time. You see the same chamber that you are currently in, but it's spectacularly beautiful. Ranks of Zelethan warriors in colorful ceremonial armor are led by figures in multicolored robes holding feathered staffs and baubles. They all face the massive door ahead, beside which waits a powerful-looking Zalethan in ceremonial robes entirely composed of brilliantly colored feathers. The powerful figure raises a clawed hand, and the ranks of the Zalethans drop to their knees, with the exception of a small handful. These Jews stride forward towards the massive sealed door. The feathered Zalethan calls out a growled blessing over the selected champions, and the door seems to come to life with a web of bluish patterns. But with that, the vision ends, and you're left standing in the ruined chamber, holding Gaiga's amulet again. Go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
Okay. 1 second.
And I'm going to say 1 second too.
Am I? Oh, you're gonna give me advantage? You want me to win this one? An
Oh,
intelligence, just flat intelligence, not Arcana.
oh, sorry. I meant to say Arcana,
Yes. So I get to add a +3 to it.
which I meant to. I didn't mean to actually give you advantage. I was going to give you guiding whatever, but
You
it's
know
fine.
what?
That's
Too
what I gave
late.
you.
Wait, no, guiding bolt is
Dang.
advantage. Okay,
Is that
so
a nat
I've
20?
no, it's a dirty 20, but I'm gonna roll
Okay.
again. Okay, dirty 20. Oh, it's so dirty.
Okay. So dirty 20,
Yeah.
which congratulations. You didn't need, it looks like you didn't need my guiding bolt after all. But the skill check was a 20. So let's see what you're going to get.
I'm gonna get it all. I'm gonna get it all.
Let's see here. This new vision must come from proximity to the source of the amulet's power. It almost certainly has some connection to that ritual you saw. So if it is a key, uh, then it must lock and unlock whatever spell was being woven. However, there is no indication that the amulet is actually a key to anything. It's simply playing back the ritual for you. So if it does anything at all, then it's probably a component to the ritual you saw in the latest vision. You tell Gaigai your insights, and he nods in thought.
No, I
His
don't.
eye,
Why am I being so trustworthy to these people? They're not being nice to me. I wouldn't tell them anything. Okay, go ahead. I tell them the
has,
thing, but I hide a
ha-
crucial piece of information so that I can pretend that it matters.
and I'm sure the book will take that into consideration. Also, has Geiger been rude to you?
I don't know. I think I was more rude to him.
So you tell Geiger your insights, and he nods in thought, his eyes glazing over with a faraway look. Armed with additional information, you beckon Richa to come and look at the door with you and Geiger. Though Geiger scowls briefly, he doesn't complain. Let's see.
Wait, did you
You
just say
read.
he scowls?
I think he scowled a little bit.
See, mean.
Well, I don't think that was necessarily like not happy with you, but it sounds like maybe you and him are also feeling a little untrustworthy of your other companions.
Oh, yeah. I guess they can have
So,
their own thoughts too.
yeah, which I guess you, I mean, it didn't give you the option to not try and share this with Regia, but like you, like it, you kind of already detected Regia and Zaka already seem like they know something about this.
Yeah. Hmm.
Uh, you, Regia, and Gygax stand together, looking at the massive circular door in front of you, and you understand Gygax's frustration. It is very clearly an entrance of some kind, but there are none of the mechanisms you'd normally associate with a door.
No
There are no
knobs.
there are no knobs,
See,
there are
I
no
told you no
hinges,
knobs. That was the 20 insight.
and I totally didn't just add that in there because you said it.
Oh, rude.
Uh, I mean, it's still fitting with all the other things I'm about to say, but
No hinges.
there are no hinges, no handles. which I guess are
A
knobs.
handle is a knob, yeah.
Yeah, and nothing even remotely resembling a lock.
Is it
It's
automatic?
doot, 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 doot. I don't know why that came to mind, but it's automatic.
It's
Uh,
electric. Wiggy wiggy wiggy.
it's electric. Oh, okay. Uh, it's carved with the same geometric patterns you've seen elsewhere in Zeleth, but you haven't the context to determine whether they are functional or decorative. Two massive statues of Zelethan warriors stand on either side of the sealed entrance, and it is ringed with pictographs and sigils. Much of the rest of the temple has fallen into some degree of ruin, so any murals and friezes,
Ah, yes.
Friezes, I don't know this word.
I took the SATs.
Um, so any murals and friezes that may have adorned the walls are now long gone to rot and ruin. No hint of growth shows on the door, however, and it remains pristine. As you consider the challenge before you, you see a few different angles from which you could approach it. You might be able to dig deep into your arcana knowledge, consider the historical significance of what you see, or simply use your senses to draw some
Oh
conclusions.
wait, I could do historic. Okay, never mind. I could do. Are these three different or?
Yeah, three different things.
Okay, I
So
have
you can
both
dig.
a three in Arcana and in History. Do I just have to pass one of them, or are they like they're gonna take me to different
Um,
things?
it's going to take you to different things. It has not mentioned a check, but I would assume there's probably going to be some sort of check.
Okay. I'm so impatient. Like the minute you mention any skill that I can have proficiency in, I'm like, okay, where's my check? Okay, where's my check? Give me my check. I'm ready for my check. Check, please.
But do you want to try and dig deep into your arcana knowledge, historical significance, or just try and use your common sense to draw some conclusions?
Let's start with Arcana. I do
Okay.
have proficiency in Arcana and History.
I like how I read it as arcana, I think, multiple times, and it says arcane knowledge, which I mean, still same vein, but
Okay, so
it's
am I rolling now or
okay. Calm it down.
am I am I leveling yet? Am I
Calm it
leveling
down,
yet?
Caliday. Calm it down. Calm it down. Uh, Clearly magical in nature, you plumb the depths of Arcana to figure out how to open this door and discover what's on the other side. What do you think you're gonna do?
Roll an
Roll
Arcana
it.
check.
Roll an Arcana check.
That's what I think I'm going to do. Oh, only an 11.
An 11.
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, that does not succeed.
Okay, I want to do history.
Well,
Take me back.
let's.
Take me back. I want to do history.
I'm going to see what happens
Okay.
after. Okay, if you get. Okay. Uh, Despite your best efforts, you can't determine anything else about the door. Richa and Gaiga make their disappointment obvious, but Zakar remains as impassive as ever. Just as you're about to ask what to do next, Zakar strides between the rest of you and approaches the door.
And has me
Uh,
roll a history
uh,
check.
no, I'm sorry.
Oh.
No history check here.
I hate, like, I think that it can be fun to fail checks, but I feel like the checks I'm failing are just like, and nothing happens. Like, that's not the fun failing of a history check, dang it.
Oh. And I was going to try and come up with some at least maybe creative way to let you down, but it's not coming to me right now. I'm sorry.
You want fails?
I
Where's that
I,
Bane button at? No!
I failed my creativity check.
No, I don't want I only want fails if they're going to be fun. I'm tired of these fails that are like, and nothing happens.
I mean, I can try and find something else for you to lick.
Oh yeah. Well now I've got something to combat licking weird things. Oh yeah, that was
Uh,
another thing that we retconned is I don't have immunity to poison, but I do have purify and detect poison. Purify food and water and detect poison as a way we got around the poison bits. But okay, what is the car doing?
all
What's
right.
this little lizard bitch doing?
As the car approaches the doorway, and with hardly a glance, he presses a palm into the bottom of the door. There's a rumbling, grating sound from behind the door. Vibrations run through the walls and floor, uh, dislodging plumes of dust and debris to cascade gently downward on the party. Waiting done, Zakar says as he turns toward you all. Behind him, his handprint continues to glow. Must go under. You, Rija, and Gaiga find yourself standing and staring with bated breath at the door as you feel something shudder to life in the temple. But then it stops as suddenly as it started. Zakar spins on the glowing handprint to see it also fade to inert stone again. He hisses and screeches in what are clearly curses, and he does so with enough rage that you're grateful you don't understand what he is saying.
I cast comprehend languages to understand what he's saying in a TikTok
Hmm.
friendly way.
Motherfucker, that was supposed to work! What the gosh darn heck?
The gosh darn heck.
That is
Thank you.
exactly what Zakar said.
We have
Uh,
fun here.
is that a cantrip or is that a spell slot?
It's a ritual.
I'll pretend that I actually know what the ritual
No,
means.
I thought I've told you. So ritual means that it doesn't necessarily take a spell slot. Um, a lot of the time it'll be like in Fantasy High, um,
Yeah, I know a Dane does ritual
yeah, a Dane will
spells, but
do like identify, but it'll be like I need 10 minutes to cast this identify spell. Um, though I don't comprehend languages does not seem to have that same like casting time requirement.
yeah,
It does just take one action and last for an hour. But yeah, essentially it'll you can use it as a like spell, but it typically you use it like as
okay.
more like RP kind of vibes.
So we're gonna say that Zakar curses for 10 minutes straight, allowing you to perform a 10-minute ritual to figure out what the heck he's saying.
Well, I don't have it
I
doesn't
I
cost 10
I
minutes for this
know.
one. Unless you want to give me, you want to
I was just trying to be
translate,
silly.
do you want to translate 10 minutes of lizard folk curses for us?
I do not want to have to translate 10 minutes of curses into a good place friendly
Yeah.
version.
Fork and shirt balls.
Okay, let's see here. No, he finally says to his companions. Must go under the under. We must go. I'm sorry, Zakar, Regis says finally. I really am. Let's all get some rest. Give this some more thought. I'm sure we can figure this out. Just need to put our heads together, lad, Gygas says. He reaches out to pat Zakar's shoulder, but then clearly thinks better of it. The dejected warrior slinks back into his spot beside the fire pit. Rita distributes food and water from her own pack, dried meats, cheeses, even some hard bread that hasn't quite started to grow mold.
My
She even
favorite.
pulls she even pulls out half full wineskin of brandy. I was saving these to celebrate finding the others, she
But
says,
they're
though,
probably all unalived.
though she's looking at the door the whole time. Uh, but I think it's a good idea to enjoy them now. Uh, the group of you sit down to quietly eat what feels like a gourmet meal on the floor of the temple, the massive stone face of your collective failure looming all over you. Eventually, you manage to get some much needed rest. Go ahead and gain the benefits of a long rest.
Haven't even done anything, but okay.
I mean, you could have attacked that one.
I would
Uh,
never attack my new daddy.
Not even if he's into it.
Mm, maybe.
Right. Feeling rejuvenated, you're ready to continue your exploration of Zaleth and the search for the expedition. As you're preparing to step out in what can only guess is the morning, Reacher comes up and gently holds you back.
I cast
Listen.
Fireball. I don't have Fireball.
Okay.
I like how I derail you so quickly and so much from such a simple comment.
Oh, it's like, all right, what can I do with this thing that they're claiming they're doing? And then it's like,
Well, I don't have Fireball.
no,
We're too low
yeah.
level. It's like a level 3 spell slot, I think, which we don't get until like level 5 or something. So I
Hmm.
won't have any fireballs. But you better bet if we ever get a module that's high enough for me to get fireball, we're gonna have some fireballs.
You're going to travel back out of that module to this module just to.
Just to fireball Regia
Yep.
immediately upon meeting her.
Uh, Listen, she says. Between you, me, and Zakar, we haven't found anything except bodies. Maybe it's time to see if that has any more clues to offer. Uh, she nods toward the door where Zakar and Geigar are already examining the location where the glowing handprint had been. Please, help us understand what's behind this door. I'm sure it has something to do with my colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
You agree to come and lend what assistance you can, and Rija accompanies you to the base of the huge door. Gaiga is keeping his distance from the surface of the door, while Zakar is running his claws reverently along the stones. Rija also reaches out to brush a hand against the stone, but she pulls hers back quickly before making contact. However, no one seems to know what to do next. You can get Zakar to try again, ask Rija to try the handprint, request Gaiga try, or try it for yourself.
I do kind of want to do it myself, but Regia pulling away makes me want her to touch it.
Okay, so you're going to ask Rija to try the
I'm gonna
handprint?
make Regia do it. What spells do I have? Go ahead.
Well, okay. Let's see here. You suggest, in a way that's not a suggestion, Rija try, and she agrees. Though she seems slightly fearful, she doesn't hesitate long before placing her hand firmly into the slight imprint of a clawed hand. Purplish energy arcs out of the wall and up her arm. She cries out in pain and jerks her hand away. Though she doesn't seem badly hurt, she cradles her arm as little wisps of smoke waft off it for a moment. I won't be trying that again,
We'll see.
she says, flexing her injured hand with a grim smile. Anyone else want to try?
Yeah, I'll do it now.
Okay, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
It does say that you can try a different course of action as well, but
Oh,
uh,
does it say what that
no,
course of action is?
it doesn't. It's just you'd be speaking to your companions to make another plan.
Well, I can't let Regia have all the fun,
Uh,
so I'm going to touch it too.
okay, so let's see. Gain some inspiration that you're not gonna use, but
Well, that also makes me a little nervous that
ch-
I'm about to get shocked too.
Chad is your inspiration with their.
Exactly. Chat chooses when I get inspiration.
Uh, as you approach the heavy door, you can see that the faint outline of a handprint has 5 digits, but they are unusually long. There are even small indents for claws. Oop, Uzi cast Bane.
No, Uzi! Rude! I actually thought this would be a cool moment where I could possibly, uh, like, channel great magics and do it. Oh god. Okay.
This is clearly meant for lizard folk, but it's worth a try at least.
Hey, I could be lizard folk on my mom's side.
When you press your hand into the space, it doesn't quite fit, and you feel like the door knows that. You feel a buildup of magical energies in the stone. Go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Oh God. Uh, well, I got an 8, and then we'll do a Bane. I got a 6. A 6
Yes.
dexterity saving throw. I'm about to get my ass flamed.
All right, so you had to get a 12 or higher. So
Yeah, did it come close to that?
you aren't fast enough to jerk your hand away, and a violent purple energy crackles into your palm and up your arm. Take 1d6 necrotic damage.
Ooh, how does necrotic damage work? I feel like necrotic damage might be weird.
You're asking the wrong person.
Damage type represents decay, weathering, power, often mechanically necrotic damage in 5 years, similar to other types. Doesn't have any inherent special rules. Can be resisted or even dealt by creature. Okay, so it doesn't look like necrotic damage has any inherent differences for 5e. Um, I was thinking that there was something about it. So, I will take the full damage of it, and then I'll just recast my it's not going to with 1d6 it's not going to be above 12, so it's not going to break my temporary health hit points, and I'm going to take it and then replenish my temporary hit points.
Okay. Did you need to roll for damage, or does?
It's going to be less than 12, so it's not going to actually hit my health. It's just going to hit my
Okay.
temporary hit points, and I'm going to refresh my temporary hit points.
Okay. I figured, but I
Okay,
just
Unalive
want to make
Beaver also
sure.
confirmed it's just a damage type. Yeah, I feel like I've heard something about, like, maybe it was like a previous edition of D&D that, like, if you got hit by necrotic, it did something extra. It was like not necessarily non-resistible, but I feel like there was something in like maybe an old edition or something. But good to know that it's just going to. I was worried it was going to like bypass my temporary hit points or something, which it does not look like it does. So, oh, Reach, maybe you should level up. Maybe you should go level up. Reach, maybe you should go level up.
All right. So now that you've tried, do you want to ask either Gygar or Zaka to try, or do
I
you want
guess we
to?
should ask the cost since it does clarify that a lizard folk. Ooh, or we
Okay.
could have Gygar do it and just add more damage to Gygar. Okay, I won't be that evil. I'll ask Zaka if he wants to, and
Okay.
if we can make it a persuasion roll if you want.
Uh, well, sorry, I already clicked on the thing for
Okay.
Zaka since you had said it. Uh, you ask Zaka if he's willing to try again, and he nods without hesitation, plants his hand on the palm print. The doll gives a less pronounced response than the previous try, with only a faint rumble and a glowing handprint that quickly fades. Do you want to have Gaiga try?
Nah, Gygar's useless.
Okay.
He's been through enough. I won't be mean to him this time.
All right, so time to call it quits and discuss a different solution.
I wonder if any of them would work. Because we tried everyone except Gygar. Now I'm almost like everyone did it except Gygar. What if Gygar's the one? Gygar's the chosen one. Gygar's Gleer. Gleergar.
I guess we'll never know.
Okay.
Okay.
If anyone
Uh,
knows in the chat,
I
is
am I'm
Gygar the
assuming
chosen
that
one?
no one probably would have succeeded, but
Yeah, it's just
uh,
weird to have us go through all of them, and then it's not, doesn't even, like it only even does damage or does anything lasting to the main character.
yeah, I think that's the point is to have fun damaging the player.
Yeah. Well, I want everyone to get damaged, and then have a group fight.
Yeah. You and your companions reconvene around the fire pit. This place is no longer your camp or even the temple, but simply the location of your latest challenge to overcome. The team sits dejectedly in tense silence, everyone knowing that the next step is clearly getting the door to open, but no one offering up any ideas on how to do that.
Oh, Gygar refuses. I shove his face into the handprint.
Uh, Without warning, Zakar leaps to his feet, brandishing his spear in all directions as if searching for a threat. Reach opens her mouth to say something, but then her eyes go wide and she also jumps up. Gaiga lets out a little snort, followed by a whine as he tries to curl into himself. Uh, the dread rises up in you seconds before you also hear it. A voice rings in your head, resonant and powerful, as if composed of many different voices. It's time we met properly, it says. Please.
Okay, Yoda.
I'm trying to get those many different voices. Please come outside so that we can get acquainted. You can step outside immediately or hold back.
I want to get acquainted. Maybe this is Lizard Daddy, even though I hope that this is not his voice.
You stride ahead of your companions out into the gloomy light of the underground city. On the expansive stone at the grand entrance to the temple, an impressive sight greets you, causing you all to come to a sudden, cautious stop. You stand with your companions in stunned silence, despite your best efforts to maintain your composure.
He was too starting to speak.
Uh, Before you is a magnificent serpent hovering in place on an enormous feathered wings. Its scales and feathers are every imaginable color, resplendent even in the strange glow of the underground city. Despite its reptilian features, the colorful newcomer radiates a gentle kindness, as you can tell from the voice that I gave it. Zakar croaks something in his native language, and the great beast dips its head in acknowledgement. The wing of snake, Zakar says to the rest of you, king of the rain light. The creature smiles and rumbles a chuckle. Uh, Normally, I translate to feathered serpent and lord of rainbows, but that is a fine version, child Uzleth. Perhaps your scholar knows some of my other names. Uh, Under the smiling serpent's gaze, Gaiga works his mouth around his tusks and adjusts his lapels self-consciously. Well, I should say that you are Kuatl.
That's what I was thinking.
Well spotted, the Kuatl says, but in Gaiga's voice. Then, continuing in its own voice, it turns to Rija. Anything to add? The guardian spirit of Zeleth, she says, eyes still wide and lips trembling. I suppose there are those who call me that, the Kuatl says. And though true, I feel it's a little grandiose. I hate that I gave it this voice, but
You
here
can
here we
change
go.
it. Says that he changed his voice. Also, can you spell Quaddle for me? I know that it has a different kind of spelling.
Let's see. Coutl.
Okay, I almost had it right.
Okay. Uh, then it turns to you. You are still a mystery to me. Do you know what I am? Go ahead and roll either an Arcana or a Religion check.
I don't think I have religion. Yeah, I only have a +1 to religion, so we're gonna go with Arcana. A 13.
A 13. Unfortunately, the check was a 15 or more.
Okay, that's cheap. I, as the human being behind my character, apparently knows more than my character.
I mean, sometimes that's the case. So,
Hold up, hold up.
yep.
We got a bless. What did I roll again? Was it a
Shoot.
13? Do I have?
Um, yeah, I think you rolled a 13. So
Okay, a +4.
+4. Okay, that gets you above 15. So
Thanks, Beaver. Oh,
Let's
I
see
almost
here.
missed that bless.
So if you get a 15 or more, go here. Uh, you are also familiar with Quattles.
Yeah, I
They
am.
are
I'm a nerd. I played
they
video games that talk about that stuff. I know
uh,
something about not Latin American. It's further south than that, isn't it? Or is it Latin American?
oh, I mean Latin America is, I think, like South America and stuff.
The
I
more you
think
know.
like Latin America is usually all the Spanish speaking countries, which would be kind of not Brazil.
Latin
But
America, not Brazil. The more you
I
know.
well, let's see here. What is it,
I don't think
Latin?
it matters that much.
What I'm curious now. So Latin America refers to the cultural region of the Americas where Romance languages are predominantly spoken, primarily in the form of Spanish and Portuguese, so including Brazil.
Oh, look at that. I'm sorry that we tried to
Okay.
exclude you, Brazil.
Okay. Let's see here.
Well, Jada tried to exclude you. I just didn't stop him. You're not going to get
Let's see.
invited to Brazil when I get famous.
Womp womp. Okay. So you are also familiar with Quattles. They are celestials, summed as guardians. Is this your patron?
Oh my gosh, is that my patron? Honestly, I do really want to try a Celestial Warlock one day.
Not gonna lie, I kind of want you to roll like an insight check, even though I don't have the answer to it, and I want you to roll low, just so I can be like, this is definitely your patron,
Well, what if it
regardless
is
of,
my patron? Then I actually did
yeah,
well.
yeah, I don't know. So, so
Wait,
that's
can
why
I
I'm not
roll to
having you
see if
roll.
this Quaddle is my dad?
Sure. Let's see if this is your dad.
Is this Quaddle my dad?
That's a real
I
reason why
rolled an
you
8.
came here is you think that your dad is there.
I think my dad,
So
the to be
you're
fair,
not
if I didn't mix it up earlier, I said that I could be part lizard folk on my mom's side. Maybe it's my dad's side. Is this
all right.
lizard folk my dad? I only rolled an 8.
So you are about like 60% sure that
This
this
lizard is my dad.
creature, yes, this creature is your dad, the celestial. Uh, so they are celestial summoned as guardians, and while they can be formidable opponents when attacked, they prefer communication and displays of their power to frighten away interlopers. As it is already demonstrated, the multicolored winged serpent has access to the minds of other beings. Some stories even say that it can inhabit the dreams of others. As a celestial being, you can expect the Coatl to act in a kind and virtuous manner, though this individual seems to be either extremely old or showing some negative side effects from the pervading sense of corruption in Zeleth. Its feathers lack the luster you would have expected from the accounts you've read of their singular beauty. You also recall Coatls are shapeshifters, able to adopt the form of creatures around them. There are even skilled individuals that mimic another creature or person in exact detail. You summarize what you know of the beast to it, and your companions, and it nods its head in agreement. You are intelligent, it
Uh,
says. But what of wisdom? What would you say to me? You can politely greet the Coatl, ask the Coatl what it's doing in Zeleth, or demand to know what happened at the previous expedition.
um, it feels weird to greet them, but I am thinking that we know shapeshifting, and
Mhm.
the old Zelethan guy we met did specifically say that he appreciated a nice greeting, and
Okay.
this could be him. So I'm going to greet them, even though we've already had a full conversation.
Okay.
Being polite is rarely a bad idea. Exactly. It
Uh,
just seems weird to like greet them when like we're already talking.
I mean, it could be like maybe you're in awe of the celestial being, so you're like, "Oh, I
I didn't say my name. I didn't give. I've not said my
yeah,
name. We do say that they know what's inside our head, so I probably wouldn't need to do a greeting like that.
mm,
I am going to
uh,
go with the greeting. I'm gonna try. I'm going to be like, yeah. I'm gonna be like, hi, I'm Calder Jones, warlock, warlarchaeologist extraordinaire.
you formally greet the coatl, and it bows its head to you in response. Such pomp and circumstance, says the amused celestial. It has been a long time since I was honored so. Thank you very much.
Is this the same? I feel like your voice is doing
Oh,
like 12 different voices. Is that how you're
oh,
interpreting the multiple voices?
yes. That's interpreting multiple voices
It
now.
is
Is it
very
just
hard to keep track. I'm like, wait, is Gygar talking to the lizard in this? Like, what's going on?
uh, sorry, it's basically changing up its voice now.
Okay,
Like instead of trying to like do something that my vocal cords cannot do, which is have multiple.
we'll practice for next week.
Okay, so we can at least get like two voices. Um, like in my brain, I'm also kind of like, oh, I kind of want to do him's voice from Powerpuff Girls.
Hmm.
Um, and so that's why you're also kind of getting that like up and down type stuff.
Okay.
All right. Um, Trading glances with one another, it's clear that the coatl is broadcasting its thoughts to your companions as well. Looking somewhat chastised, Zakar drops to one knee and speaks in his own language. For the first time, you hear his words ringing in your head. For the second time, you hear his words ringing in your head, this time without cursing, a translation provided by the coatl.
Ooh, a voice changer app. That'd be
Yes.
fun. You ready? You don't have to make any more voices. Just get the voice changer app.
I mean, a voice changer app would be fun. It's okay. You can judge my voices. Understandable. So,
I will.
understandably
I
so.
do. But I judge them all as wonderful.
Oh yeah.
Okay, no, we did have that one issue where I did have to ask you to change your voice.
You would judge them as mostly tolerable. You can tolerate them.
We'll see.
Okay. Um. So this is the translation. This is what Zakar's voice sounds like in his head. Lord of Rainbows, please forgive my dereliction of duty. Zakar's voice clearly says clearly in your head. I am so glad to have finally found you. As your servant, I am humbly beg your assistance in fulfilling my life's purpose. Uh,
What level is this spell deafen?
are you trying to cast something on your so-called DM
No, I'm trying to cast it
or
on
on your?
myself. I don't like Zaka's internal voice. I like Zaka. Why you gotta give him that pompous voice? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Of course, Zakar. The Quattle says, still to all of you. Your service is noted with gratitude, Knight of Zeleth. The Zakar is physically incapable of blushing. You can see in his body language that he would be doing so if he could. Rija hides a smile, but Gygar seems riveted on the Quattle itself. Rija gives you a gentle push on the shoulder to congratulate you on a job well done. You can ask the Quattle what it's doing in Zeleth, or demand to know what happened to the previous expedition.
Let's. I don't think that's a demand. I'm trying to be
Hmm,
nice for once. Let's ask what's going on in Zaleth. Maybe we'll get some information on like what the corruption is or where it's coming from.
okay. You ask what the Quattle is doing here in Zeleth. Ah. Well, that is a complicated question with a very long answer, the Quattle says, and it is not for all to know. First, you must prove yourselves. It will be revealed, or you will follow on the heels of the last group of surface dwellers who failed to prove their purity. The last expedition passed through here, Rija asked. Are they all right? They are, the Quattro responds, though there are still the hazards of the jungle above. Um, my people care for all survivors of Seleth. Uh, Zakal says, his voice ringing clear in your mind. If they have left the city, they will be cleansed and healed of all but their memories of this place. Excuse me, but is that what you do? Is that you, dear chap? Gygax says to the warrior. Is everyone else hearing him?
Hmm,
A product of the link I've established in your minds, the Quattle says. But now it is time for us to proceed with the next step of your journey, whatever that may be. Right, I'm still seeing Death Beaver's comment of I'm not judging your voices. And now after hearing the Quaddle, are you judging it, Beaver?
yes, everyone is. But I'm confused by that last bit. The
So, are you talking about a product of the link I've established with your minds? The Quaddle says, but now it is time for us to proceed with the next step of your journey, whatever that may be.
Okay, who was confused about are you hearing this?
Geiger, I think, was confused by Zakar's voice because it's sounding like much less like stilted words and stuff.
Okay. I was like, I'm so I was having a hard time getting the different voices uh separated. Okay, got it. Had it more guttural in my head when I did that part. It's it's a dragony looking thing, yeah. Which I
Yeah,
mean, like technically, if it's not speaking with its body and it's just speaking through like a magical sense, I do think it's an interesting way to think about how that would change the voice.
yeah. And the only reason I went this route was because of how it kind of described it as sounding like multiple voices, and it was able to do Geiger's voice. But
Okay, what we got next?
that's yeah. Uh, the Quattro draws itself up on its iridescent wings and fixes you all with a powerful gaze.
Gaze.
Um, you are not the first to visit Sleth since it was abandoned here. The Quattro says to all of you, its voice booming in your mind. And I pray that you are not the last. Like others of my kind, I am the guardian of this place. But I do not guard riches. Instead, I protect the way to a great evil. What evil is that, great serpent? Geiger asks with his eyes shining with zeal and curiosity. Is that what is causing the strangeness in the air here? All will be made clear if you pass the test, the Quattle says. Let us begin. Nothing could give me greater joy, Lord of Rainbows, says Zakar. Your worthiness is assured, warrior. The Quattle bows to Zakar, the lizard folk prostrates himself. Gyga's confusion is palpable, but Rija just smiles. And I presume that this is your actual purpose here? The Quattle asks as it looks directly at Rija. Now that you know your colleagues are safe, will you continue?
Wait,
Uh,
are the colleagues safe? Because have we found like multiple dead, unalived bodies?
I mean, yes, some are obviously unalive, but uh, the Quattle did kind of confirm at least that,
Somebody's alive.
yeah, some. Some people are still alive. Let's see here. Rita cuts a sideways glance at you and her other companions, then nods. I will, she says. And you? The Quattro fixes his coolly benevolent gaze on Gaiga. Has your thirst for knowledge been quenched? I hate my voices right now. I am so sorry.
I mean, you can change
I
it.
my brain won't let me. We
Okay.
we we are we are locked in right now. Let's see here. It has not, Gaiga says, puffing up his chest. If it's not too much trouble, I shall also continue. Can I do a British drawl? Uh,
A British
I'm
draw.
my brain's trying to.
Yeah, I don't know what that would even sound like. We're gonna
Oh,
have to
pip,
get Beaver on here.
pip, pip, cheerio, and all that, old chap. Is this? I don't know. Like,
You leaned into narrator voice.
yeah. Like, I feel like the narrator voice is kind of my idea of a little bit of a pompous British accent, but
I see that. But we only got like 10 minutes, so let's get
okay.
to a stopping point.
All right. It has not, Gaigal says, puffing up his chest. If it's not too much trouble, I shall also continue. And you? It turns to you and you're dazzled by the creature for a moment. Are you ready for the adventure to end? You answer that you want to see this adventure to its conclusion.
I answer that I want to see this adventure to its conclusion.
The path ahead is dangerous. The Quaddle's voice rings in your mind.
Already died once.
You must be sufficiently prepared to defend yourselves and each other. What do you have that shows a warrior's spirit? What trophies do you possess of your valor? Rija pulls out a white stone. There appears to be nothing special about it.
Good job,
This
Richa. Glad you find that pebble.
all unalive friendly TikTok beaver says, "Ha! I can't do voices, but that's not half bad. Yay!" Sorry. Um, this is a stone from the highest peak of the Cloudfang Mountains, she says. I was the sole survivor, though I wasn't supposed to be. But I pushed everyone else off the mountain, so ha 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 ha. Okay, that was just me. Sorry.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, obvious. That one wasn't as clever of a
no, it
that
was
wasn't as
not.
seamless of an injury.
Uh, it turns to Gaiga, who freezes and then pats at his various pockets ineffectually before coming up empty. I'm afraid I don't have anything on me, Gaiga says. What kind of proof do you require? The Quattro doesn't
Well, did you
answer,
do
but
anything, Gygar?
nope, did not. The Quattro doesn't have an answer, but turns to you. As a trophy, you can show the stone feather, present the dull blue crystal, or admit you have nothing.
I do have both of those things. I'm gonna do the stone feather, I guess.
Okay, the stone feather. Uh, you produce the shard from the construct you defeated in the arena.
Yes, very swiftly and decisively.
You hold it out to the Coatl, and the serpent smiles. You have passed the same test that the warriors of Zaleth had to pass, the Coatl says. No one could be more worthy. Reacher gives you a small, tight smile and a nod as you put the shard away again. Your warrior spirits have been reviewed, the Coatl says. But a warrior needs a weapon to wield in battle. What is your weapon of choice? I have these. Rita says, holding one of the blue Zelethan crystals in one hand. And I also have this. Rita holds out her other hand, and a small mote of shining red light twists into life over her palm.
Hmm.
It's not even a spell, possibly just a cantrip to display her power, but the control is impressive.
Hmm.
The Quattl ignores the display of magical prowess in favor of the crystal, and Zakar shows no emotion at all. But Gygar's jaw drops open on learning that Reaches commanded the mystic arts. It takes him a moment to realize that the Quattl is waiting for him to speak. I'm afraid I'm unarmed, Gygar says. Does a keen mind count? It can, the Quattl says to him, but
Well, do
quickly
you got
turns
one of those, Gygar?
but the Quattl says to him, but quickly turns its attention to you. And you, adventurer, how have you armed yourself against the hazards ahead?
Oh, I got two of them right
Uh,
here.
so are you going to are you going to present a weapon? Spellcasting focus? Uh, or are you going to present yourself as a weapon?
Oh, this is a tough one because I have. So my first thought was the Zelethan sacrificial dagger because I feel like that would
Mhm.
be very fitting for this, but also my character has an arcane focus that is the crystal skull, which would also be very fitting for my character. Uh, and then also, come on, I'm a weapon. Um, but I'm gonna go with the dagger because I feel like it's the most fitting for this particular
Okay, so you're going to
situation.
present a weapon. You may show whatever weapon you want. If you show a magic weapon, we'll go one route, which... Oh, however, if you show a weapon of Zelethan Crystal, we're going to go to this route.
Celestine
So,
crystal.
um, you pull out a crystal weapon of Zelethan design, and the Quattl immediately nods in approval. I've not seen a Zelethan weapon such as this in so long, the Quattl says. This is the weapon of a hero. You have chosen wisely.
I know.
Both Rija and Gygar nod with impressed looks on their face, and even Zakar seems to appreciate your choice. You put the crystal weapon away to prepare for the next stage of the trial. Uh, and now that we've established the warriors among you, I'd like to know your knowledge of the city itself. The Quattl says in your minds. Why does Zleth stand? Gygar speaks up first. The city of Zaleth is a shining pinnacle of culture and wealth. It is here as a treasure to be enjoyed by the generations, the height of an empire's power. The Quattro nods, but without commitment. Rija offers her answer. Zaleth is an ideal, she says. Their eyes cut to your due as she continues. And a wall. Again, the Quattro nods and then looks to you. You can respond that Zaleth was a crown jewel of the mighty empire, that the city grew around the crystals as a unique resource, or that the city itself is a prison.
Ooh. Well, that's a tough one. My first thought would be like the city grew around the crystals. But the prison one, I don't feel like I have a reason to say that, but that is an interesting one. I would be interested to see what that came out as, but I'm gonna say that the city grew around the crystals, I guess.
The city grew around the crystals as a unique resource. While it is true that the Zelethan crystals are unique to the city, that is not its purpose, the Quattl says. It is more of a byproduct of the unique magical energies here. And there are layers upon layers of magical energies here. Those crystals are a complex part of life here in this city, as you may soon discover firsthand. Did they truly power the city? Gaiga asks. You are here, glorious serpent. What did they use the crystals for, really?
Prison.
Everything, dear scholar. The crystals powered machines that performed functions from healing the sick to drawing water up wells. But they were also necessary to power the machines that operate below the temple, and their function was even more important to the existence of Zeleth. You catch Rija and Zakar exchanging a glance, but you prepare for any additional questions. Um, you have explored the city, the Quattle says, unfurling its wings and floating upward. Uh, you have seen there is nothing left but creeping rot and mutated beasts. So where did the people go? It seems that some great cataclysm befell the people of this grand nation. Uh, all these voices are messing up my
Yeah.
Geigar. Sorry.
I'm. Please let
I'm
this
sorry,
almost be
baby.
over. Love you.
I understand. Um, it seems that some great cataclysm befell the people of this grand nation, Geigar says. They, the people, sacrificed themselves for the betterment of Zeleth, Reacher says, and the realm. What do you think, adventurer? Asked the Coatl. You can say that it was a cataclysm that killed everyone, that the people sacrificed themselves for the greater good, or that they simply left and little is known about what happened next.
Um, I don't frickin' know. Am I supposed to know this stuff? Like, I
I
feel like there
mean,
are like little hints here and there of things, but I don't remember these specific things.
yeah, do you
Um,
want me to repeat the options?
what was that?
I was asking if you wanted me to repeat the options.
No, do the second one. It was
The sacrifice for the greater good.
yeah, we'll go with that because we at least know there's some kind of evil that's being trapped, which I assume is what led to the prison thing in the last one. And I'm assuming something happened and they were had to sacrifice themselves or something to whatever. Can't
Okay.
I just do Arcana checks for this shit?
Uh,
Give me
you are
some history
partially
checks. Give me some Arcana checks. Give me some of that. But yeah, that's the option.
okay. You are partially correct, Quado tells you and Rija. Indeed, many of the former inhabitants decided to remain behind, and in their sacrifice fulfilled the purpose of the city, but others opted to leave. But the Zelethans were proud people, Kaigal says, his incorrect answer forgotten. Why would they run away? Because the city is more than just a place, the Quaddle replies. It is a prison whose scale matches the threat it contains, and given its resources from within have dwindled, it must now look outward to maintain its power. So does that mean? Reacher looks to Zakar, who nods as he stands to address you all. Um, Again, Zakar addresses you all in his native language, but his words are translated through the mental link and the quarrel has established among you, and his snarling, hissing tongue becomes clear to you. As you may have already guessed, I am descended from the ancients of Zeleth. Zakar says, all my people look back to our distant ancestors who settled the jungle above. Our history tells of a time when we maintained our dignity, even our strength. But it wasn't to last. The corruption seeping out of Zeleth poisoned us too, but it went to work on our minds, not our bodies.
Mm.
Political factions became warring tribes. Despite our best efforts, we forgot the old ways. Few among us could even be trusted with the ability to read, much less with a tablet. The warrior reaches back and pats the stone slung on his back. But those of us who could still be entrusted with the knowledge of Zeleth became teachers and guides. But why guides? Uh, Gaiga asks. Why not keep Zeleth a secret? Because, scholar, the Quaddle answers, Zeleth did not die. It merely operates at a diminished capacity. It could not sustain its people as well as its mission, for which I must now enlist all of your aid. You can ask what assistance the Quaddle may require, or ask what's in it for you.
What assistance do they need?
Okay. When you ask what the Quaddle needs, it smiles and bows its head to you.
Eh,
I have realized I have certain limitations, it says. Though the mind and even the world of dreams is accessible to me, there are parts of the city that are not. One of them is that temple and the passages below it. To call it desecrated land is an understatement, and a celestial being such as myself cannot enter. It would be certain death. I will need you to enter for me. What happens if we succeed? Gaiga asks. The Quattro and Zakar share a glance before the Celestial replies. I will be here to meet you, and you will join a select group of heroes to have survived the dangers below. Do you accept or refuse?
Accept.
The Quattro is pleased that you and your companions will take the mission. And with your acceptance, you have passed my trial, the Quattro
Yay.
says. Though I cannot tell you what you find below, I do know that it will become clear. You are not the first to return to the depths of the temple, and I pray you will not be the last. A great evil is contained below, one that I only know from the corruption it emanates. You must renew the power of its bonds. This will require strength, bravery, and power.
Yeah.
It's it seems you have all of these things. Uh, Reaja's hand brushes the Zelethan crystal in her belt, and Zakar tightens his grip on his spear. Gaiga looks between the three of you, smiling nervously through his tusks. When you are ready, you may enter the temple. The door will now open for you and will remain open until you return, or until your deaths. Best of
Yay.
luck! You bid the Coatl farewell, as do your companions, and together you enter the gloom of the massive temple and approach the sealed door. The Ka steps forward and lays his hand on the handprint. The purple glow of the handprint spreads through the jagged lines of the Zelethan patterns adorning the door. A line around the frame appears, and the whole room trembles with the great weight of the door as it begins to move. It finally slides downward into the floor, revealing a massive stone chamber beyond, lit by the blue glow of Zelethan crystals and smelling of the rot of corruption you are now so familiar with. And this is where you enter the large chamber. And I think that's where we should probably end.
Yes, it is. So we're entering the large chamber. We're going into the prison. We're about to ACAB this bitch. We're gonna bust that evil out of here. Wait, that's what we're supposed to be doing, right? Bust the evil out.
Like maybe.
Oh God, I I love you, Jaded. Your voices are so
Oh no.
fun, but if we talk to that Quaddle again, we need to have a different voice. I was struggling so hard trying to like picture in my head like typically it's not that much effort to like listen to it, but I'm
Mhm.
like focused in my head like wait, is this I keep wanting to say Galir, not Galir. Is this Orc Nerd? Is this Saka? Is this
Yeah,
who's talking? Who's talking? And I of course it doesn't tell you at the beginning, so I had to wait for the like says Saka, says
yeah.
Gygar. Like, oh god, I'm having such a hard time keeping all this straight. But I think I took notes to know what's going on.
Yeah, sorry. After I was halfway through it, like my brain just couldn't even like figure out a voice to do, and
You're all good. Oh gosh, what a fun time. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. We'll be back next week for on Monday, 10 p.m. US Eastern Time. And I need to take a break. I need to get a drink or a food or something. But we're going to be back with word games in about 50 minutes. So fun, so cute, so gorge. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Also, I'm going to try to be a little bit more active in the Discord and post things. I posted a little peek at my character sheet yesterday, I think, so you can get a little heads up. I think it'd be fun to get some scheduling in there for games, especially for Thursday, because Thursdays are like our variety night. So if y'all want to play some games on Thursdays, hit me up in the Discord. I also think we have 2 more campaigns after this one, but eventually we're going to run out of solo campaign modules that we have on hand. And I think it'd be fun if maybe we switch things up a little bit. I know that we've got a few D&D people that have popped in and out, and maybe we open up, and maybe we want to have a little group game. Maybe we want to stream a game together. Maybe we want to do something. If anyone has any interest in any of that, definitely hit us up. We definitely have quite a few weeks before anything like that would like come to fruition. But if anyone had interest, we could definitely do something fun tonight. Oh yes, I can definitely send you my Discord. Actually, let me just throw the grab the Discord right now.
uh, ooh, do you have your bot up?
Oh yeah, I do have my bot up.
Yep, is that
Oh, that it didn't come through. I
that's
think
weird.
that's what it is. Okay, anyway, I've already got Discord open. So let me just grab. Okay, that should take you to the thing. If you have any issues, hit me up. You should be taken to get a role. And if you go into the roles and hit the react button after reading and agreeing to the roles, uh, we should be good. Okay, I see ya. If you have any issue with reacting to anything, I did have to go in and mess around with my Discord a bit because it was kicking people if they didn't react quick enough, essentially. So, yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but if y'all want to do anything on Thursday, if y'all want to try to get together and do some fun things on whenever we get done with these solo campaigns, perfect. Let's just make sure it came through okay. Yes, looks like you're all set up. So yeah, have a great night, everyone. Maybe I'll see you in about 45 minutes for word games. Maybe I won't. Either way, hopefully I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone. Actually, I'm gonna say goodbye to TikTok